Hello, hello, and welcome to Grounding into Gaia. I'm not sure which edition this is. It is definitely the Divine Feminine edition. I've been guided to let this reading, these messages come through with zero expectation and therefore also very little preparation on my part other than, my opening meditation and prayers. So at the time that I'm recording this, I'm also not sure if it's going to be just an audio or if I will also show the video. I will let that, you'll know by the time you're watching this what I have decided to do. Of course, the doing it without video allows me to communicate more messages more regularly, just from the technical side of things of needing to go through the process of editing and compressing and uploading. So today I've also not pre-selected my decks, so I'm just sitting at my desk with all of my decks in hand. And why is this month about the Divine Feminine? So very much like how I've been called, encouraged to do this reading with little preparation, is the same, let's say, quality of feeling, of living that the divine is encouraging us to dive into. So a lot of the chaos that we are feeling is coming from a place of feeling out of control, feeling as if we don't know what's going to happen in the future. We've also are in the process of letting go of a lot of the ways that we have perceived the world. And in releasing those constructs that limit what we believe we are capable of or limit what we believe the world can be, there is a feeling of uncertainty. It leaves saying like almost a hole in the heart. It feels there's an emptiness and there's a fear of the emptiness. The emptiness is the void where creation can and does begin, because we begin to fill that void with new dreams, wishes. It's like a blank slate. And if we have been entrenched in a paradigm for so long, entrenched in a way of thinking, a way of being for so long, it's our ego especially becomes, it feels like the rug has been pulled out from under it. It becomes disoriented and grasping for something to hold on to still define itself how it's used to being defined. So releasing, for example, if you tell a story about yourself where you were the victim and that is why you have such hardships and have difficulties achieving certain things, feel certain ways about yourself, are triggered by certain things. Once you are invited to release that story, then what is your answer to why certain things, or why you are certain ways, why you act certain ways, why the state of your life is the way it is? If you release that core belief that, for example, they're giving me the example, if you have experienced abuse, and that abuse turned into a lower self-confidence, and that lower self-confidence has caused you not to take risks, not to believe that you're capable of certain things. Now, once you are no longer the victim of that abuse, then it becomes something there is a moment of difficulty for your ego where, now it's wondering, am I to blame? And the reality of all of us who have suffered any kind of harm, there is a part of us who always wonders, was I unworthy? Am I somehow to blame? And we spend a lot of our lives running from that feeling, even though that feeling is also something that we can offer to the divine to heal, and for the support that says, well, no, you are not to blame. And no, it's not because you are somehow flawed or unworthy, or that you deserved such treatment. And this is where the divine feminine wants to come in this discussion, especially in this case, in the mothering capacity. Knowing that you are always held regardless of what you actually do, that you don't have to work to be lovable or work to be worthy. You were born lovable and worthy. Our society has built constructs where those things, that basic truth, has been hidden from us, and there are forces that have benefited from us being unaware or ignorant to the fact that we were born lovable and worthy. I am being prompted to shuffle a deck here. To see what else the divine feminine would like to say at this point. I welcome any and all benevolent beings who would like to share a message today. Today that I'm doing this reading is the 1111 portal. So the first card that I have here is Catherine Labouré, the patroness of miraculous healing. I am ready to heal. I am worthy of the miracles meant for me. And as they have guided me in my opening remarks, worthiness is a collective wound that it is time to heal. It is time to address our feelings of worthiness. Worthy of the things, the relationships, worthy of abundance in all the forms that we can imagine it. And they're saying that change on a collective level starts with us honoring ourselves. Another aspect of the divine feminine, self-love, self-care, caring for your vessel, and to represent, just to bring some attention to how that has been I'm looking for the word, but the word is not coming to me. I can feel it in my throat chakra. But the way it's been twisted in society, there has been a good amount of energy put into, women who care too much for their looks, are superficial, and using your looks to get ahead. And there's just been shitting on, for lack of a better term, of women really embracing their beauty. But the beauty on the outside also comes from the inside and the time that we spend to honor and value ourselves. And that is something, regardless of what gender you identify with, or whether you identify with a gender at all, regardless, that is a divine feminine energy caring for the self. And in that also, that caring for the self has been interpreted as a covering up a lack of self-worth, whereas what we are being encouraged to recognize that it can also be a demonstration of self-worth. It doesn't have to be the only demonstration of self-worth, of course not. But I digress. We are coming back to the message of the patroness of miraculous healing. Healing your self-worth is something that only you can do. We can go out into the world and seek compliments. We can imagine ourselves the center of attention and all that comes with that of admiration and people putting us on a pedestal. The reality is that as many people put you on a pedestal, there are just as many who are very ready to knock you off of it. Therefore, the only pedestal that you can and should really value, and the anchor, the grounding, is the pedestal that you put yourself on. And the pedestal that you put yourself on shall also be the place from where you feel entitled to ask for your heart's desires and all those things that you see as luxuries in life, for example. And they're saying that some of the things that we consider luxuries, because we've been entrenched in a feeling of lack for so long, these things are not luxuries. They are your right by birth to have a place where you experience unconditional love. Have people with whom you share unconditional love. Have romantic connections if you so desire them. Have meaningful friendships and meaningful, respectful sexual encounters. To live a life where your innate abilities and talents are recognized, enjoyed, celebrated, and where you also are provided for financial security, physical security. All of these are not luxuries as far as the divine is concerned. And especially not as far as the Divine Mother is concerned. I'm going to pull another card. A white buffalo calf woman, the prophetess of the sacred way. My heart is a compass. The path of love is true abundance. And I have another one that wanted to come out, the cosmic egg. The divine feminine, I hold the universe within me. I am the force of an ever-expanding love. And actually a fourth one jumped out here. Lala, the saint of spoken words. Every word I say becomes a prayer. I am the author of my own story. So there's quite a bit coming out now. The divine feminine energy is one of receiving, openness to guidance, intuition, there is so much more to be said about the divine feminine. We are all rediscovering, remembering that which we already know, but that which has been twisted and forgotten and manipulated. The divine feminine would like you to recognize that your heart is really what is here to lead the way. There is no progress individually or collectively that can happen if we are not listening to our inner guidance system. And on top of listening to it and recognizing it, not rationalizing, did I say that right? Yes. Away with things that we have learned through our ideas that are thrust upon us from our current society. It is the time for us to be in the void and create from a purely divine inspiration. And that divine inspiration has a unique signature inside of each one of us. The keys are within each one of us. And it's through our trust in faith in our intuition, our ability to listen before acting and acting on what we hear within ourselves. And what is it that they want me to say? There is something that needs to be said. The masculine that we are fighting or challenged with is not the divine masculine. They would like you to also know that. So, patriarchy is not divine masculine. And why, I will not read into why they interjected with that comment at this moment. It just felt it needed to be said. Ah, yes. Because the moments of stillness where in the void you receive, we can take as a divine feminine act, and then the act of putting that in motion can be seen as a divine masculine act. Acting before receiving is what separates, or we widen the gap between actions and inspiration. So our divine inspiration does not turn into divine action. We are just acting. And in that constant movement, action, external projections of energy, we get further and further away from the universe within, the spark of the universe that is within. And the spark of the universe that is within is made of pure divine love. With that being said, the Divine Feminine would like you to know the power of your prayers is very potent. Always. There are for sure ebbs and flows, times when you feel them more intensely, and times that it may just be ritual, habitual action. However, all that has the intention of loving creation behind it will be and is powerful. All that you say is powerful, which makes it even more important that you understand every word becomes a prayer. And with every word, you are creating our reality and your own reality. The Divine Feminine is encouraging you to write your own story from here on out, and to not forget the story of your past, but write it in a way where you have taken the lessons, the challenges, and they become part of your hero's story. And the hero, obviously, is you. When we think of movies, nobody likes a flawless character. We often don't root for a flawless character because we cannot see ourselves in them. So your protagonist, the protagonist of your story, you being the main character, also has flaws, has made mistakes, has lived through difficult times, has people out there who don't necessarily see them as a great person, and who has people out there who adore them, and everything in between. The key right now is, let me take a final card here. Final card is Sarasvati, the goddess of self-knowledge. The essence of who I am flows effortlessly into everything I create. The goddess of self-knowledge. Know yourself. Be mother yourself, and know that you are held by the nurturing, loving vibration of our planet. You are meant to be here. And you were made exactly how you were to be made in order for your soul to do what it came here to do. And in healing that in yourself, having the intention to heal that in yourself, to remember that, to feel and know that you are entitled to ask for more out of life. They want me to say, do no harm to others, wish no harm on others. Do and wish big things for yourself. And at the end of any prayers or wishes you do for yourself, offer something to the planet, humanity, animals, nature, because you are part of that energy. It is constantly nurturing you. I think that's it. That is it. They are complete. I wish you all the best.